Good thing that'll be happening indoors because
Yes.
it might be a little dicey outside tomorrow afternoon, Ben.
Key word there is might. That's the thing. We know there are going to be storms tomorrow, and there will be waves of this. It's just the timing is the problem. So if you have outdoor things, you got things you got to kind of move around town, all this kind of stuff. I wish I could tell you this is the exact time each one of these is going to come through, but we're just having to kind of go with what the models do each time they make another forecast run. There's a look over downtown. We have 69 degrees, and we're not going to drop a whole lot temperature-wise from here. And early morning rain possible. That would be round one of multiple waves tomorrow if these future view models are right. Looking at a lot of 60s, low 70s, and there is the radar shot. It is quiet now. That was not the case this afternoon. We had some light rain in our whole area, but once you kind of got a little bit south of Macon, that's where it started to pick up a little bit more. And definitely places like Crisp, Wilcox, Telfair for us, and then everything outside of that was in South Georgia. So there's a whole cluster of showers and storms that made its way off the coast. I think this is kind of a wild looking map to be able to track these storms with their hail. We will see from time to time, you know, hailstorms, hail cores in storms. Occasionally you'll pick them out here or there and everything, but to see them run like this, as many of them as we saw today, and not only that, but getting up on the scale here into around the 2-inch category of hailstones, that can do some damage out there, and you can see some of those. I mean, look southwest of Cuthbert here. There was one of those spots right there as we went through this afternoon, and we saw it in Crisp County as well. All right, so there's the big picture, and again, all of this kind of taken off, you know, got this focal point of this stationary sort of stalled boundary that's in place right here. And storm outlook for tonight still has a level 1. Not sure why that's out there, but this is a look at tomorrow. A level 2 is in play again. That just means any of these storms could have gusty winds and hail. That could be the issue. And there is a level 3 once you get into Albany and into our southwestern counties. And notice for these folks, I mean, it's the same train tracks these things ran down today. And then a level 1 on the low end as we go into Thursday. We'll see if they change that. All right, so here's a look at future view. Again, we're at the mercy of this model run. The one before it may have shown a different timing and placement, and the next one may show it in a different time and place. So don't think, oh man, he said at 5 o'clock it was going to be pouring rain. This is just the trend here, all right? So there's around 6, 7 in the morning. The idea is that rain, maybe some thunderstorms. You can see a little bow here if this happens mid-morning to lunchtime tomorrow. So that'd be already a couple of waves right there. And then as we get into the afternoon, maybe some spotty stuff. And again, later stuff in the day depends on what we saw in the early part of the day. You know, we talk about turning the atmosphere over, kind of taking the fuel away for later thunderstorms. So everything in the second half of the day is contingent upon what happens in the first half of the day. And I know that's confusing, but that's why these models are having a tough time with this. There's later on tomorrow night, then maybe a round coming in overnight into Thursday morning. There is Thursday during the mid-morning to lunchtime time, and then maybe quiet as we get into the afternoon, some stuff developing again maybe later in the afternoon on into the evening. So I can't drive home enough. Just don't focus too much on that. Usually we're like, look at the timeline and look at where it is. This stuff is going to change back and forth as we go through the next couple of days, but don't be surprised if a wave rolls through. Notice the dark green to the south and how this kind of fluctuates. As you can see where rain and thunderstorms will come through and wash it out over the next couple of days. This is where that boundary is, and it's 2 different air masses here. So the swampier stuff to the south. And here's a look at how temperatures will look. I think 60s in the morning. Notice how this is already taking into account rain coming in. So our temperatures will be very dependent upon when the clouds are out, when we see rain. We may see 80s. We may go warmer than that if we have clear skies in the afternoon. And then again, Thursday, trying to figure this out is a little bit tough. So you may say, well, your job's pretty easy. You can just flip a coin and say, this is tough and tricky, and then toss it on over to Marv, right? Well, yes, you have thunderstorm potential in waves. And again, I think multiple waves as we go through the day tomorrow.